Alright guys, I hope you're having a happy New Year's Eve or New Year's Day whenever this video comes out. This video is just going to be talking about the series finale of Stranger Things, which came out on New Year's Eve. And yeah, let's talk about it. This is just going to be my thoughts. And it's pretty mixed right now. I just finished it about like a half hour ago at the time of this recording. So my thoughts are all over the place, but like I said, it's mixed in a lot of places. There are some things I like, a few things I did like, but for the most part, I'm not sure how I feel. It probably would take time to digest, but here we go. So let's just recap real quick. So the first volume, volume 1, I thought was okay. The way it ended with Will having powers, I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, this might set up a cool, neat storyline, and for the most part it did. Volume 2 came out, and I thought it was just trash. I was bored by it, and that coming out scene has been talked about forever. Let's just not talk about that. No. So yeah, I was kind of like, okay, like after the disaster Volume 2, do I really want to look at the finale? But it is the finale. It's the last one. I'll give it let's just see how it goes. And let's start with the things I liked. There's a few. Full spoilers, obviously. One thing I liked is that Vecna did not turn good. I know there were theories out there like, oh, it's gonna be revealed that like he's misunderstood and he's gonna join with the team and to take down the Mind Flayer, who we find out is secretly the big bad, which we all knew. And they did not. They actually kept Vecna as a villain and had him team up with the Mind Flayer for like the final fight, and that was cool. I'm glad they did not redeem him. There was no like, oh, he's actually a kid like all of us. He was just abused. He's a victim. Like, no, he's a villain. He owns it. Okay, that was cool. I like that. The scenes between, I'm gonna go all over the place. The scenes between Hopper and Eleven, especially when they're upside down and like doing the final battle, were genuinely heartwarming. I was like, okay, this is pretty touching. Like the speech he gives about, maybe one day her kids, she can give them a better life if she has them and all that. That was cool. That was really wholesome. Let's see what else. Having Joyce be the one to kill Vecna, I thought was very, very satisfying. It makes sense since, it was her son that got kidnapped for all of season 1. It makes sense that she's the one to kill to do the final killing blow, and that was cool. That was nice to see. Another thing I like was the Mind Flayer. And like I said, this would be bouncing all over the place. I have no notes. This is just off the top of my head. Was the Mind Flayers? I guess some people call it the Tree Flare. Like the final monster design is awesome. Like it genuinely looks cool. It looks like the season 3 version just on steroids. It looks like something straight out of, Hell itself or Gears of War or Diablo. It looks so damn cool. It sucks that it's only in this last episode, but it's the finale, so I guess, they saved the best design for last. You can kind of argue that, but yeah, the actual monster design is sick. And this shot, like we should see right here in the background, the shot of Elle jumping into its mouth. Oh man, that's a badass shot. I might use that for the thumbnail. I'm not sure, but that's a strong contender. That's a thumbnail picture right there. The only other thing I really, really liked was at the end, like the epilogue, was that Hopper and Joyce got together and they got like their happy ending where he asked her to marry her and she says yes, and they talk about moving away close to the kids since they're all off at college now. That was cool. Like these two characters who have been through a lot, they finally got their happy ending together. That was genuinely wholesome. Like I was like, all right, like this is nice. And that's not it for the positives. Everything else, I'm kind of mixed on. I don't really know how I feel about them. The biggest thing, let's just get off the right, was with 11. There was an interview with Millie Bobby Brown recently where they asked her like what are her thoughts on the finale, and she gave this face, which has almost become like a meme, and she gave this face as a response to the question. I gotta say, I understand now. People will say, oh, why is she saying that? Why is she looking like that? Oh, I understand. Like, they did her dirty in the finale. Oh my god. So, like, first of all, they faked, which we knew it was coming, like, which they set her up, in the previous volume. They kind of hinted at she'll have to either sacrifice herself or stay behind the Upside Down when they blow it up, because someone needs to stay behind, so the military or whatever doesn't, or like Vecna again doesn't escape, and pretty much it comes to happen. Like, so everything goes according to plan. They defeat Vecna in the Mind Flare. They plant the bomb in the Upside Down. They get out. The military's there waiting for them as an ambush. All of our characters are all like, kind of pinned up against the wall, and you think it's gonna be, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And they turn around. They see Elle standing at the gate doorway, and she just stands there while the bomb blows off, and everything just gets swooped away, and all the characters are screaming like, no, don't happen, don't die. And that was it. What we thought of, I should say, what we thought. So that's how we assumed she died. But then later on in the end, Mike revealed that, it was actually Kali, or Kaylee, or I think it was Kali, secretly saved her after she got shot in the earlier episode, and we thought she died, which, why did they bring her back? Like, no one liked that character or that episode in season 2. Why did they bring her back? I mean, if they brought her back just to kill her, it's kind of funny, but yeah, she didn't need to be here at all. It was just useless. So after Kali faked her death, she helped Eleven by doing, like, what was it? What did Mike say in the end? Like an invisibility spell type thingy. And it distracted everybody, so it allowed Elle to escape and go off somewhere, somewhere else in the world where she wouldn't be found or hunted. And that is, I don't know, because it makes sense. Because she said they had that scene where Mike goes into her mind, right before she, like, supposedly, air quotes, dies, and she says goodbye, and then, lovey-dovey stuff, yada yada. And yeah. Because having, let's just say this, having Elle just, like, vanish during that, like, was it tornado, I guess you call it, that explosion, tornado, whatever, and that being the last time we see her, like, that would have been a bad ending. So it's like, which is probably explains Millie's face. But then the explanation they gave as to, like, Kali used the invisibility spell, Elle escaped, now she's just wandering around, which it looks like, like Iceland type Scandinavia countryside is what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but she's basically alone now. Like, she doesn't have to worry about the military hunting her or anything, and she can kind of explore, I guess find herself, I if you want to call it that. I'm not sure if that was a good ending yet. I'm still processing that. And also, speaking of the military, they just straight up vanished. Like, after Elle, quote unquote, died, and the time jumps for 18 months, they're gone. Like, there's no explanation. There's no, like, they went somewhere else for other missions. No, there's just no explanation. They're just gone. It's like, okay, you could have had, like, one line of, like, where they went. They not just vanished. But, whatever. As for the rest of the, the cast storyline is wrapping up, Robin being being the radio show host back again. Okay. I guess what you can call them, like, the half of the adult cast, I guess you want to call them that, like, Jonathan, Steve, Nancy, Robin, their storylines concluded. It kind of makes sense, Steve being a coach and a teacher now at Hawkins, that makes sense, since he said earlier, like, he likes kids and he wants, 6 of his own, what little nuggets he called them. Having him be a teacher and a coach, I found that pretty nice. Okay, that makes sense. Jonathan's writing, course, the anti-capitalist, whatever. Fucking, I hate that character. They should have killed him. Nancy, of course, has, the Karen cut, just like her mom, who magically survived. They both had the Karen hairdo going on, and it was kind of weird. That's funny seeing Mike's dad pop up at the graduation scene. It's just, there's no explanation from him other than, like, the first volume where he was attacked, and then he just pops back up randomly now. It's like, alright, I guess. You could have had one explanation about what happened to him, but whatever. As for the kids, like, I guess the final scene, it's split. It's kind of like, I don't want to call it an epilogue, but it's split with, like, you got one scene of them, of Mike, Dustin, Will, and Luke. Oh, Lucas. Right? That's his name, right? I don't even remember. And Max all playing, D&D, and it's intercut with scenes of, Mike giving kind of an overlay speech talking about, where everybody is, where everybody's going. That, I thought, it was pretty good. You have Max and Lucas together, like, I guess being in love, young love. Okay, that's fine. Will moved off to, I think they said Milwaukee, which is, I have no idea why you'd go to Milwaukee, but okay, he did. And he finds someone, I guess it implies that they're dating, and it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Dustin's at college, there's a scene of him, like Steve coming to visit. That was cool, that was touching. And then Mike ending the campaign, that's where he explains, the Kali spell, whatever, that what actually happened to Eleven. But he said it's a theory, so we don't really know. But let's be honest, they showed us that's what happened. Like, I don't think they would have said, oh, it's a theory, and show that if it wasn't real. That's just my thoughts. I don't think they're going out their way to film a scene to show us if it's like, oh, wink, wink, if it's not real. So Mike says it's a theory, but I think we all know it's pretty real. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Military just disappearing, everybody wrapping up. Oh yeah, and then they all put up like their D&D boards campaign, not the boards, but like the binders. I thought that was kind of touching. Okay, like it's a wrap, it's the end of an era. And then Holly, the sister, comes down and with like Derek and all the other, and some, not all, but like some of the other kids that survived, and they're now playing D&D. Of course, the first thing I noticed was you have Derek, the fat, clueless, goofy white guy, and you have all the girls, and you have the other African kid, and it's like, really, really put the white kid as the dumb one, really? Okay, all right, just enough of this shit already. So that turned me off, but I can't think if I'm remembering. I guess this is what I get for not taking notes or writing a script for this video. This is all off the top of my head. This is all over the place. I don't think I'm forgetting anything though. Like I said, the Henry stuff with him going, not going good. That was good. Showing his backstory, which not really his backstory, but what that scene in the cave where he beats the guy with the briefcase, and we find out it's like a stone, like that's the actual Mind Flayer stone from the Abyss world. That's what turns him. That was cool. That was cool to see. Am I forgetting anything else that really stuck out to me? I don't think I am. I think I covered most of it. There were some parts I liked. Joyce killing Vecna, Joyce and Hopper, Vecna not turning good. That stuff was all good. Everything else, I don't know if it's I don't like it or I don't care. Like, I think this is part of the problem, and I understand this show has diehard fans, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I think this is part of the problem they get with waiting almost a decade to finish the story. They spent almost 10 years, which they said, oh, this was always the plan from the beginning, which sure it was. But for the most part, the episode, after it ended, I just felt like, I guess, whatever. I wish I was more excited. I wish I had something more emotion, but that's just kind of what I felt. It's just, oh, it's it's done now. We can move on. However, though, that's just my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Comment below and let me know. I guess if I had to sum it up, the finale. Let's do this. Season 5, the first volume, I thought was decent. Volume 2, I thought was very boring, and the finale was better than Volume 2, and I think a little bit of 1. It's probably the best episode of the season, but it's still a step down from the previous seasons, in my opinion. So, yeah, I guess the biggest thing, now that I'm thinking about it, the biggest thing when it ended is just I felt nothing. It was like, okay, it's whatever. It's gone now. It's done. We can move on, which it kind of sucks because I did like season 1 and 2, and I kind of like season 3 and 4. I guess I like all the seasons. I know people don't like 2 and 3, but I thought they were enjoyable. But season 5, I think, is the worst season. I think it's worse than all of them. But anyway, I'm rambling now. So, let's just do this. What are your guys' thoughts? Did some of your theories come correct? Were some not? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment below and let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the year or beginning of the year whenever this comes out. And have a happy new year.